might make Dak Prescott look for a realtor after a year or so. So, Chase, let me start by asking you.
Quarterback.
Should Dak be looking over his shoulder?
He's going to make headlines, too. You said it was a splash?
It was a splash.
Fifth-round pick. What's the splash about it? Trading for a backup?
We're in for a quarterback.
You like the type of quarterbacks, 5th round, 7th rounders, 8th
I like undrafted,
rounds.
my dog. Yeah, 8th round, because I was undrafted. Look, I don't think Dak Prescott should be looking over his shoulder at all. Not one bit. I think Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. I think Dak Prescott is a top 12, top 11 quarterback in this league. Did we forget that Dak Prescott finished second in MVP voting and was a second-team All-Pro just 15 months ago? So I do not believe that Dak Prescott should look over his shoulder. And quite honestly, he has a very untradeable contract along with a trade clause. What are you going to do? There's $187.75 million owed to Dak Prescott. His cap hit in 2025, $50 million. His cap hit in 2026, if he were traded, $74 million. Dak Prescott will be the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for at least the next 2 years. And did we forget that the reason why Brian Schottenheimer, the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, got the job? Yes, he is qualified, but him and Dak Prescott are boys. Dak Prescott had a say in this hiring. So I do not believe under any circumstance will Dak Prescott be looking over his shoulder. I like Joe Milton. I think he's got a ton of talent, raw talent, but he did play well last year against the Bills, and I think that did catch some eyes around the league. And I love this for Dallas because they don't have to draft a quarterback to be a backup for Dak Prescott to eventually take his job. The Dallas Cowboys needed a backup quarterback. That's what Joe Milton is right now. I like it for Joe, though. There's no way you're going to start in New England. So you go to Dallas, you get to learn from a really good pro quarterback in Dak Prescott. But let's not forget that Dak Prescott finished second in MVP voting 15 months ago.
Go ahead. Side of the table.
I'll say this because I don't need to hesitate. Dak don't need to look over his shoulder. If Dak is looking over his shoulder, hey, can I get some water? Hey, let me get that iPad. That's what Dak is looking over his shoulder for. Dak does not need to look over his shoulder. Joe Milton, shout out to him for being a big name. Shout out to him for having a big arm. Who is Joe Milton, though? Joe Milton got beat out at Michigan by Cade McNamara. Then Joe Milton left Michigan and went to Tennessee and got beat out at Tennessee by Hendon Hooker. Then Joe Milton went to the NFL and got beat out by Jacoby Brissett and Drake May. And we think Joe Milton's going to beat out Dak Prescott. Can't happen. Won't happen. Not possible. Not plausible. Now, the only person who should be looking out over their shoulder, Dak Prescott's trainer. That's the only thing that would put Joe Milton in the starting lineup is injury. That person should be looking over their shoulder because Dak Prescott has missed more games than any other quarterback not named Deshaun Watson since 2020. Dak Prescott did miss with a hamstring injury last year, then a thumb injury 2 years before, then a calf injury the year before, then he broke his leg the year before. So I would be remiss if I did not mention Dak Prescott is a very, very injury-prone quarterback at this point in time. And relationships end how relationships begin. And Dak Prescott's relationship as a starting quarterback with the Cowboys began because the starter got injured. Yep. The only way his relationship as a starting quarterback with the Dallas Cowboys ends is because he gets injured. But other than that, there is no reason to look over your shoulder unless it is for some Gatorade or for that iPad.
Well, I'm going to say he should be looking over his shoulder. And I don't know how far he should be turning his neck and all that type of stuff, but he should be looking over his shoulder strictly because his play on the football field in the big-time moments. If Joe Milton walks into the Dallas Cowboys locker room and he has a really good preseason like he did last year, and he's showing all this talent, and obviously we all know the only way he steps on the football field is if Dak Prescott gets hurt. That's a given. But if he balls out in preseason, and through the last 3 years, Dak Prescott has missed a good amount of games. If the young fella gets in there balling, I don't care nothing about the money.
At all.
I don't care nothing about any of that. The Dallas Cowboys are going to have to look over their shoulder and say, does this kid give us a better chance than Dak Prescott?
And the
only way for me for Dak Prescott to not look over his shoulders is if this year he goes out there and he balls and he delivers in the big-time moments and he delivers in the playoffs. Because we could talk money, we could talk no trade clause, we could talk all that. But if we look at with our eyes and in the big-time moments with Dak Prescott don't show he's worth that money. And the young fella can get in the game, just like Dak Prescott got in the game when a better quarterback in Tony Romo was in front of him, but he got hurt, and Dak Prescott took full advantage of his opportunity. And the Dallas Cowboys said, you know what, Tony Romo, we know you don't want to retire. We're going to figure out a way to get you into this TV business, and you're going to make a whole lot of money.
So what are you saying,
because Tony
though?
did not want to retire.
So what are you saying, though? Because Romo wasn't looking over his shoulder. Like, Joe Milton is not a threat. Joe Milton is not a threat to Dak Prescott.
That's how it happens, though.
Like, if you're saying Dak will get hurt, of course, if Dak gets hurt and Joe Milton goes in and balls.
But
go ahead. Okay, so that's how NFL is, though. Yeah. So looking over your shoulder is not like, I had plenty of backups. I didn't even look over the good ones, great ones. It don't matter. It's when you get injured and your backup that makes a lot more less than you do plays well. Then you're like, oh, hold up now. Because now it's not about what you think. It's not about what your teammates think. It's about what the front office thinks. Now, we paying this guy all this money. He gets hurt. He's not playing well. And we know what happens when it gets to the postseason. Don't we all know that?
Of course.
So now we know that part. And this young dude that comes in there that looks good, making a lot cheaper money, that's what happens everywhere. I look at the Eagles, right? Before Jalen Hurts, where everybody was loving and praising Jalen Hurts, nobody was praising Jalen Hurts. They was praising Carson Wentz. And they got this second-round dude, right, that nobody thought he could throw the ball, do all these different things. He came in the game when Carson got hurt, started making some plays with his legs, not his arm, but his legs. Yeah. And we start winning some of them games. They said, hold up now. We have something here, though. He might not be Carson right now, but we do have something there. Yeah. And then when they seen that, and then the money gap is way different. Yeah. You paying a guy a lot of money over here to this back you're not paying nothing to. That's what matters, though. And y'all play this game, y'all know how that always happens. So no, he's not looking over his shoulder because he's the backup. It's how it works. I'll just go back to, because I want to address a couple things. That's what I want to do last, because I know you're going to have a lot to go against me.
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
So you brought up college.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing is Jeremiah Trotter. Do you guys know who that is?
Of course.
He's an Eagle legend, right? And I love all my Eagle legends, my OGs. So we went to this Clemson game, right? Now, I'm not really big into college, but I watch it, you know. And we go to the game, right? And we watch his son.
Of course.
They are playing Tennessee. Now, the starter was Hooker. He did not play, okay? He got injured.
ACL.
Joe Milton, the quarterback, that a lot of people didn't have his jersey on. At the end of that game, dog, they were saying MVP, Joe. The brother, he went off too, though. 19 for 28, 51 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He was balling. So I'm like, dang, this quarterback got some talent. Who is this guy, right? Because I've been watching him, okay? Let's fast forward to the league. I watch him play against the Bills. So when I talk about talent all the time, talent's not the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
But if I'm a backup, right, and I got a quarterback that's making all this money, and if he comes in there when Dak gets injured, or if he hope he doesn't, but if he does get injured, and this young dude comes in there with fresh legs that runs way better than Dak, okay? You talk about a struggling running game the Cowboys have. Is that one of the questions they talk about?
Yeah, of course.
One of the best things for a struggling running game is RPOs and read options, which Dak cannot do. He can't do read options, right?
Yeah, not anymore. Not since Brady.
Joe can, though. All it takes is for a couple of good games like Cooper Rush had, but you put talent on it, you put swag on it. Now you making 20, 30-yard runs. You coming out of sacks. You throwing deep passes. Now the fans start to, okay, who's this dude? I'm gonna tell you how it works, because I've been on different teams where we're like, man, this guy's so good.
And not
last thing, RG3 though. I would say, because Kirk Cousins, I don't know how you feel about him. Do you remember how that thing unfolded?
Fourth-round pick,
RG3 just came off the Rookie of the Year and all that. He goes out, this young dude starts playing well, and then that was history. All I've said is I've seen it in NFL. NFL is one of the craziest jobs you can have. You could be the man today and get all this money y'all keep talking about, and the next moment, the team finds a way to save money and get rid of you. Happens all the time. But we'll see, though. And then when it happens, hopefully it don't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But if it happens, don't look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you were right. No, I don't want to hear that.
The dilemma is this.
money.
Not even money to me, because I think you can find ways around money.
Okay.
I think you can find ways around money.
They always do.
I think you can find ways around trade clauses. That's not even my dilemma. Joe Milton's not that good. That's the dilemma. Shady says everybody good is good in where?
College.
He wasn't even good in college. So if everybody good in college, and he wasn't even that good in college, then don't talk to me about Joe Milton. Jalen Hurts replaced Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts wasn't just good in college. Jalen Hurts was elite in college. Elite in college. Joe Milton was average at best in college. So I'm not going to say that an individual who's been beat out everywhere he's gone is going to beat out Dak Prescott. That just sounds wild.
Well,
now, obviously, if Dak gets hurt, that's the crux of my take.
Wait.
If Dak, Wentz didn't get hurt.
Okay, but
remember, Wentz just got beat.
Right now.
Wentz just got beat out.
But time out. This is my thing is, so when a lot of them backups be coming in and playing and starting, it's not because like they're just way better right away. Like this guy don't have no experience. All it takes is for them to give some hope. Okay, we got a backup, a cheaper backup, he's way talented than the other guy. Can run, can make moves, can make some passes. Now, he's not getting a certain coaches. You a backup, right? And you know the difference between when you the starter, the way we gonna treat you and talk to you and make sure the game plays for you. When you the backup, yo, get in there, let's try to manage it. So what I'm saying is, Joe right now is not the guy. No, he's not. So all it takes is for, and then we talking about Jerry Jones at that. I'm gonna put that to the side. All it takes is for the opportunity. This young dude comes in there, whatever happens, he breaks his shoelace. The young dude comes in there and he's making plays. All it takes is to make the plays. Now they start thinking. When I was playing at my highest level, I had a dude named Bryce Brown. All-American in high school, a lot of talent.
Five-star, all the things.
6'2", 6'1", 230, 4'3" type speed, right? And I never really was like worried because I'm just better, you know what I'm saying? But I remember I had a concussion, and we were bad this year, and I missed like 5 games. Now, we were good. I probably came back in 3 games. But, you know, I took my time because he was bad. The brother has 200-yard games back-to-back. It healed me so fast. The doctors thought I seen Jesus like, oh, you back? Yes. The reason why is because, and at this time, I was the highest paid running back. Like, a lot of people be talking about, you know, tweeting and all that. They don't know nothing about that. Some of them never even know what cleats feel like. But what I'm saying is, when that happened, I came back because it wasn't because I was scared that he was better than me. I didn't want the odds to say, oh, man, we paying Shady at $10 million a year. And this brother right here is making $400,000, and he is pretty good, too.
And not only that, though, because the blessing about this show is we all put the cleats on. We all know what the cleats feel like. We've all been in the locker rooms. We've all been in training camps. We've all been in them ice baths. We all been released and cut. Shady. But anyway.
For y'all.
But anyway.
Y'all get cut and released.
Only reason why I say that is because we've all been in a training camp to where this is the starting lineup. And it's always one of them dudes that you see, buddy good.
Buddy good!
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I know he the starting linebacker, but you see him on sideline to side. You understand what I'm saying? And when cuts come, where he go? Where he was starting? No, for real, he was starting. And then they like, man, they kept the young bull over. And we all instantly say, the young boy was balling. So me bringing up that story is when Joe gets into practice, it is going to be some stuff that looks different than Dak strictly because talent. And it's going to be like, oh.
Wait. Can we say this?
Matter,
who has more juice?
It does matter.
Watching, right? When they watch him in practice, though, because Dak is a better quarterback. Make all the right pass. You know, his D is, Dak is good. He's just not good in the postseason. What I'm saying is, when they have practice like James talking about, that young boy will have more juice.
Yeah, unfortunately, practice doesn't matter. Like, practice doesn't matter. What do you do between the white lines?
Practice, man.
I don't, look, I don't want to fall.
Money, though.
Yeah, he's talking about
money. But you're not going off the plate.
I just X'd it out. Yes, I am. Joe Milton is not even remotely on the level of Dak Prescott.
Remotely.
Right now,
and I think we just need to keep
not remotely.
We need to just keep that in context because last time they traded for a quarterback, Trey Lance for a 4th-round pick. Trey Lance is out the league right now.
He never showed no sign of being good.
Why was he number 3 overall pick? He must have shown some type of sign. You know what I mean?
No,
like Joe Milton was a 6th-round pick. So we don't need to like get in. Hey, is Joe Milton good? I just don't believe there's any world where Joe Milton is going to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
I agree with that.
Okay, cool. Real quick. I don't even want to talk about Trey Lance because he never showed me anything. Played in the little league. He never showed me nothing to make him go that high. Right, okay. But, so, if Dak doesn't play, who's going to start? Do you think Joe's going to be a starter?
Oh, yeah, backup. The backup quarterback will.
Okay.
For sure.
So I just want to hear this out real quick because you're a backup and you know the game. So if he's the backup, right, and he plays well and shows flash and shows some talent with no experience, with no good college career, none of that, you tell me they just going to say, okay, cool, we got a good backup that makes some good plays.
They will continue to ride with Dak for at least the next 2 years.
I would see them. They could use him as trade bait.
They could use him, get their trade back.
Yeah,
so
but
hold up. So you trade for this dude and he works out.
I just don't see it right now.
They're gonna trade him again?
Yeah.
I don't see it right now.
Trey,
They're not.
Yo.
Joe?
Joe Milton's not going to be a starter for the Dallas Cowboys.
You know,
I don't see it.
It's not-
See,
That's crazy to me, man.
It's like not possible, James.
how is it not possible?
Like,
so
Dak,
hold on,
Dak
though.
is a top 10 quarterback.
So you mean-
Hold on, real quick.
Oh,
Dak's probably a
gosh.
top 10 quarterback. Joe Milton's probably a top 60
Yeah,
quarterback.
he ain't played
and
yet.
the
We going-
60th is going to somehow beat out the top 10th?
No,
Was Romo
I'm
top 10?
going off of.
No, Romo, he was an undrafted free agent guy.
No.
Oh, when he was playing.
When
Yeah, Romo's like
was
that.
Romo a top 10
Romo
dude
was
when
like
he
that.
didn't start no more?
Like
he got
that.
injured, right?
Listen.
And then Dak took over.
Yes.
Romo was at the end of his career regardless because of back-to-back back injuries.
Oh, because of
He
injuries.
absolutely-
Wait,
Okay, you talking about.
That's what,
Prescott is
wait, time out. That's what
we
we're
are saying.
But that's what we're saying. That's what he's
We're
saying.
saying injuries. You can't freaking predict what you're gonna get hurt or not. What I'm saying is, when Tony Romo was at had the keys to the office of the Cowboys, and I played against Romo, so I know how good he
like
was.
that.
I don't need nobody's opinion for that part.
No.
Y'all telling me he won a top 10?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Of course.
Easily
cool.
won a top
So
10.
then he didn't get beat out by Dak, right?
No, he got hurt.
It was injury.
Oh, so he got hurt, and then Dak came
Dak took
in
it.
and managed the offense and managed the game, right?
Yeah.
Managed the and they was winning.
Yeah.
And then eventually,
Yeah.
what happened?
Let me.
So why can't that happen to Joe though?
Romo's 36, Dak is 30.
Okay, but really quick though, because what you said, I think
Okay,
I
you
definitely don't think that's a. So you mean to tell me if Dak gets hurt, right? And let's knock on wood because we don't want the young brother hurt. But if Dak gets hurt and the young brother Milton comes in the game and he's balling and the Cowboys are winning, we're trading Milton?
Tell me how that makes
Dak
sense.
is getting his job back.
Dak is getting his job back.
Dak is getting undeniable.
cannot- I don't
Let's
think
come
Dak
back to this. Let's come back to
can
this
lose
other
his
side of
game.
the break.
Oh,
Come back to this other
this
side of the
Cowboy
break. Dak
juice.
is getting his job back.
Cowboy juice.
Dak Prescott is not losing his job next
Cowboy
year.
coffee.
Under no circumstance.
Okay.
Under no circumstance.
I guess for him it's different than NFL.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.